iOS 26 is about a week away from being released on its first beta. I know it's really weird to say and hear iOS 26, but it's iOS 26. Apple has decided to change the way they're naming their iOS softwares and other softwares as well. So from a version number, they're moving to a year number. So this year we're getting iOS 26, macOS 26, watchOS 26, everything 26. It is actually really interesting. But this year we're also getting the biggest update to iOS in years, probably since iOS 7. So a lot has been reported, a lot of leaks regarding iOS 26, and here we have 10 of the best new features that we're expecting to get on iOS 26 in about a week from now once Apple releases the first beta of iOS 26. Now, first off, we're talking about battery. We're getting a brand new feature on the batteries for the iPhones. Now, we'll have to wait and see for which iPhones this will be released, whether it will be most likely just for iPhones that do support Apple Intelligence, because this will use AI to actually make sure that it manages your iPhone's battery the right way. Based on the patterns, how you use your iPhone and how it consumes energy, it will basically like customize the way your battery is used. That way it will give you better battery life on your iPhone. And alongside with that, we're also getting something similar to this, where it will show you on the lock screen how much time you have remaining until your iPhone is fully charged. Now we'll have to wait and see how Apple will actually integrate this feature, whether that will be part of Apple Intelligence or something that we can actually find right here on the battery settings. But it's really interesting. So based just like on the way you use your iPhone, that way it will of course just learn your patterns and manage your battery, and the consumption of battery on your iPhone is set that it will use AI. So my guess here is that it will only be available on the iPhone 15 Pros and of course the iPhone 16 series and the new iPhones that will get released this year. Now, something really interesting is coming to AirPods. This is most likely a feature that will be available for the AirPod Pro 2s probably, and then the newer ones that will get released after that. But it is a feature that will give your AirPods a live translation. So now you can have a multilingual conversation with someone as you have your AirPods actually in your ear, and someone is speaking another language. Your AirPods will live translate it to you on the other language that you select. It is actually really interesting, and it will be a very useful feature. We'll have to wait again and see how Apple will implement that, but it should be really interesting. And again, for like travelers or just you talking to someone in another language, it will actually be a lifesaver. And just recently, we had also a new leak regarding a new gaming app coming to iOS and all the platforms as well. So it will be a centralized app for every platform, whether you're using your iPad, your iPhone, or your Mac. This new gaming app will have everything on it, and it will basically replace your game center. You will have there your leaderboards and everything else, suggestions from the App Store for games and Apple Arcade. And what's really cool is that it is also set to have like a communication feature, maybe an integration with FaceTime or iMessage, so the players can actually communicate together, and it should be really interesting. Now, we have to mention that all these features might not come with the initial release of iOS. Some of them will take time. Of course, as you can see, in the past year, Apple has taken quite a lot of time to actually release features. So some of these features might even take like 4 or 5 or maybe even more months to actually be delivered to the public. Now, of course, the biggest change here on iOS 26 will be the redesign. Everything will be new. All the things that you know on iOS will be different. Now, Apple is set to actually be inspired by Vision OS to create iOS 26, and basically they are doing this same style everywhere. So you won't just get an iOS update with this new style. Of course, the iPads, but the Mac as well, and the watch, and also the TV. So it's actually really interesting to see how Apple will go ahead and change iOS now, since like iOS 7, it was like 10 years ago. It's actually really interesting, but they should have basically this translucent look here, this glossy look. It should be really interesting, and there will be also a lot of changes with the menus and the way you navigate your iPhone. Like you can see right here, we have a demo of how it could look like, and you can see these floating windows right here. They look really interesting. So of course they're similar to Vision OS, so it will be something similar to that, but all the reports, all the leaks lead us to believe that it will actually be a game changer, and everything that we know until now, it will be everything different. Now the redesign will go into apps as well. So something similar to this, you can see this is actually the camera app, but if we go back here, you can see we have other things as well, like the settings app. It looks much different, of course, based on this concept right here, this demo, but every stock app of iOS should be redesigned alongside with the icons as well. As you can see right here on this demo, we have circled icons. They might be part of iOS. I don't know if Apple would actually do that, but it might be an option, just like you have an option here now to customize your icons on iOS 18. The iOS 26 might have an option here for circular icons. That's something that I think might be done, but just having circle icons by default, I don't think that's something that Apple would actually do on an iPhone, but having it as an option, I see it maybe happening. So expect everything to be redesigned, from apps to icons and everything else. Another reported feature is this button bar right here. So basically this will be your menu bar, where you will have all the different sections of the app, and allows you to actually move through different sections by tapping here. So in this case, we have here a small concept of the music app. So you will have the now playing, you will have your stations right here, your library and the search section, and you will have this like floating window that will actually just stay above what you have on the screen and not sit here at the bottom like we currently have it. So you can see it right here, and we can compare to something that we have currently on iOS, which is this section right here. Now that looks much beautiful, of course, and once you have it implemented here by Apple on iOS 26, it will look even better. But in my opinion, it will be also way easier for you to actually move through different sections without having to reach here at the bottom, and I see that being something that will actually be removed or will disappear or hide from the screen once you're scrolling or doing something like that. Once you stop or just swipe up a bit here, it should be back on the screen. So basically you're getting a full screen app, and that menu bar that will actually just float on the screen, and most likely it will be dynamic, meaning that it will be hidden when you're scrolling or doing something like that, and will appear again once you need it. Now, of course, other very useful features that have actually been leaked and reported, like the Wi-Fi sync for captive Wi-Fi. So when you go somewhere, let's say a fast food chain, you basically log into their Wi-Fi, that feature will actually just sync that password across your devices. So when you get another device, you have your iCloud, of course, on it, or you have your iPad or any other device, you don't have to re-enter and re-log in on that Wi-Fi. It will be synced across your devices, and that's actually very helpful and will save you a ton of time. And AI is coming to more apps. Now currently on iOS 18 we have AI, but you probably might use it on the Photos app, maybe on the Notes app, but it's coming to way more apps on iOS 26. And the Calendar app is set to be one of the apps that is gaining AI features. Now we have heard like a rumor report on the Calendar app being revamped on iOS 26, so everything should be new with the Calendar app, and it will have way more features, and of course the inclusion of the AI features as well, which will most likely help users a lot when planning like different travels or just doing like basic stuff on the Calendar app. Now Siri will also gain its features on iOS 26. Now these actually are features that we have been waiting for on iOS 18, but they didn't make it. So basically, personal knowledge, we know it's coming to iOS 26. It is a feature that will help Siri understand more of its users. So basically, it's learning about you, and then it will just like do things based on the personal knowledge that it has learned for you. Another thing that it's really interesting and that I believe might be way more useful than the other Siri features that Apple has added recently is the ability for Siri to perform in-app actions. So it should be able to do that not just on the stock apps of iOS, but on the third-party apps that you have on your device as well, and that might be actually something that you will use on a daily basis. And last but not least is Stage Manager. This also has been recently leaked. So Stage Manager will be something similar to the iPad, but not of course on the iPhone. It will be on the iPhone, but when you connect your iPhone through USB Type-C to a monitor, you will be able to actually enter the Stage Managers like that mode that you have on the iPad through your iPhone on a screen, of course, once you connect through USB-C. So that's pretty much it for this video, guys. These are the top 10 features that we're expecting to see on the new iOS 26 in about a week from now. It's really interesting. A lot of reports, a lot of leaks regarding this software. It should be really exciting. So that is it. Again, thank you guys for watching the video. Leave a like if you enjoyed it, and of course subscribe for more iOS 26 videos, and I will see you on the next one.